Hello. Now we are going to see about the unit for optical receiver measurement and coupling continuation part. So digital receiver performance. So in the digital receiver, the amplified and the filtered signal which will emerge from the equalizer is compared with the threshold level once per time slot to the determine whether or not a pulse is present at the photo detector in the time slot. So the digital receiver performance can be evaluated by measuring the probability of error and the quantum limit. So to compute the BER at the receiver, we have to know the probability distribution of the signal at the equalizer output. So first one is probability of error. So in practice, several standard ways are available to measure the rate of error which is occurrence in the digital data stream. So one most commonly used approach is bit error rate or error rate. So here the bit error rate is defined as the ratio between the number of errors occurring over a certain time interval t to the number of pulses transmitted nt during this interval. That is BER is equal to NE by NT, that is equal to NE by BT. Here NE is the error occurring in time t, NT is the total pulses transmitted in time t, B is the bit rate, that is 1 by TB. So assuming the noise has a Gaussian probability density function with zero mean, the noise voltage N of t will be sampled at arbitrary time t. So the probability that will be measured sample N of t falls in the range of N to N plus Dn is f of n is equal to into Dn is equal to 1 by root of 2 pi sigma squared e power minus n squared divided by 2 sigma squared into Dn, where sigma squared is the noise variance and f of n is the probability density function. So the different shapes of the two PDFs indicates that the noise power for a logical 0 is not same as that for the logical 1. So the function P of y by x is the conditional probability that the output voltage is y, given that an x was transmitted. So if the threshold voltage is VTH, then the error probability is defined as the error functions. So here the probability distribution of the signal at an equalizer output should be known to compute BER. So here the decision is made according to whether the 0 or 1 is sent. So if the threshold voltage is VTH, then the error probability P is defined as PE is equal to AP1 into VTH plus BP0 into VTH. So the weighting factors A and B are determined by the prior distribution of data. So that is A and B are the probabilities that either 1 or 0 occurs respectively. So to calculate the PE, the mean and standard deviation of the output voltage V out of t is a Gaussian random variable, and it is to calculate the error probability. We need only to know the mean and standard deviation of V out of t. Here for unbiased data, we have considered the equal probability of 1 and 0 occurrence, that is A equal to B equal to 0.5. Assume that the signal S of t has a Gaussian PDF which can be either a noise disturbance or a desired information bearing signals. So it will be denoted as a PDF of f of s with the mean value of m. So the signal sample at any s to s plus ds is given by f of s into ds is equal to 1 divided by 2p squared the whole power 1 by 2 into exponential of minus of s minus m the whole square divided by 2s squared into ds. Here s is the squared is the noise variance and this is the standard deviation. So the quantity measures the full width of the probability distribution at the point where the amplitude is 1 by E of the maximum. So the probability density function is used to determine the probability of the error for a data stream in which the 1 pulses are transmitted with the amplitude of V. So this figure shows that the mean and the variance of the Gaussian output for a 1 pulse are B on and S on squared, whereas for a 0 pulse they are B off and S off squared respectively. So here the first one is probability of error when 0 pulse sent. So let us first consider the case of 0 pulses being sent, so that no pulse is present at the decoding time. So the probability of the error in this case is probability that the noise will exceed the threshold voltage VTH and the mistaken as a 1 pulse. So we have P naught of VTH is equal to integral VTH to infinity P of y by 0 dy, that is equal to integral VTH to infinity f naught of y into dy. So P naught of VTH is equal to 1 divided by root of 2 pi sigma of integral VTH to infinity exponential of minus V minus B of the whole square divided by 2 sigma squared of into dV. So where the subscript 0 denotes the presence of a 0 bit. So the next one is probability of error when 1 pulse is sent. So similarly the transmitted pulse 1 is misinterpreted as 0 by a decoder circuit following an equalizer and the probability of error. So P1 of VTH is equal to integral minus infinity to VTH P of y bar 1 into dy, that is equal to integral minus infinity to VTH f1 of V into dy, that is equal to 1 divided by root of 2 pi sigma on integral minus infinity to VTH exponential of minus of B on minus V the whole square divided by 2 sigma on squared into dV, where the subscript 1 denotes the presence of a 1 bit. So here we have to assume that bit error rate or error probability we have to find. So if the probabilities of 0 and 1 pulses are equally likely, then the bit error rate or error probability is given by BER is equal to PE of Q is equal to 1 by root pi integral Q bar to infinity e power minus x squared into dx, that is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 minus ERF into Q by root 2, that is equivalent to 1 by root 2 pi e power minus Q squared by 2 by Q. So the approximation is obtained from the asymptotic expansion of error function. So that is ERF of x is equal to 2 by root pi integral 0 to x e power minus y squared into dy. Here the parameter q is defined as q is equal to VTH minus B off divided by S off, that is equal to B on minus VTH divided by S on. So here the approximation for PE is given as and shown by the dashed line. So that is 7 is accurate to 1% for Q3 and improves as Q increases. So a commonly quoted Q value is 6 and corresponding to the BER is that is equal to 10 to the power of minus 9. So here we have drawn the waveform for the graph of the BER bit error rate. So here we have to consider the special case when S off is equal to S on is equal to S and B off is equal to 0, then B on is equal to V. So from the equation we have find out that the threshold voltage is VTH is equal to V by 2 and Q is equal to V by 2S. So where S is the RMS noise and since the ratio V by S is the peak signal to RMS noise ratio. So in this case the equation will become P of S on equal to S of that is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 minus ERF into V by 2 root 2 work. Yes, the whole power 1 by 2. Yes. Next one is quantum limiter. So for an ideal photodetector which has a unity quantum efficiency and produces no dark current, that is no electron hole pairs are generated in the absence of optical pulse. So in this condition, it is possible to find the minimum received optical power required for a specific bit error rate performance in a digital system. So this minimum received power level is known as the quantum level. So assume that the optical pulse of energy E falls on the photodetector in a time interval T. So this can be interpreted by the receiver of the zero pulse if no electron hole pairs are generated with the pulse present. So this from the equation, the probability that n is equal to 0 electrons which are emitted in a time interval t is PR of 0 is equal to exponential of minus n bar, where the average number of electron hole pairs, that is n bar, is given in the equations. So for a given error probability PR of 0, we can find the minimum energy E and which is required at a specific wavelength lambda is equal to 1. Example. Here we have seen one example, that is a digital fiber optic link operating at 850 nanometer which will require the maximum bit error rate of 10 power minus 9. So in this equation we have to find out the probability of error is PR of 0 is equal to exponential of minus of bar n, that is equal to 10 to the power of minus 9. So solving for exponential of n, we have bar n is equal to 9.9 into ln 10, that is equal to 20.7, that is equal to 21. So here the average of the 21 photons per pulse is required for this bar. So using the equation, we have solved the E value and we will get the value as E is equal to 20.7 Hn bar H. The next one is fiber attenuation measurement. So fiber attenuation measurement techniques are used in order to determine the total fiber attenuation loss due to both the absorption losses and scattering losses. So the overall fiber attenuation is an important to the system designer for determining the attenuation in fibers. So there are three major techniques are used. One is cutback technique, another one is insertion loss method, and the third one is optical time domain reflectometers trace. So here we have seen that in the single mode fibers, the cladding mode striper is employed so that the fundamental mode is allowed to propagate along the fiber. So there will be the wavelength selective devices and optical filter, and it will generally used to find out the attenuation as a function of wavelength. So it will consider the short length launching fiber to find the connector of the circuit. So the fiber attenuation also called as transmission loss, and the attenuation is equal to optical power input by optical power of the fiber end. So that is equal to 10 by L log of Pi by P naught dB per kilometer. So that is L is equal to length of the fiber. So a commonly used technique for the determining the total fiber attenuation per unit length is cutback or differential method. So in the above figure, we have shown that the schematic diagram of the typical experimental setup for measurement of the spectral loss to obtain the overall attenuation spectrum for the fiber. So it will consist of the white light source, usually the tungsten, halogen or xenon arc lamp. So the focused light that will be mechanically or chopped at the low frequency of few hundred hertz. So this will enable the lock-in amplifier at the receiver to perform the phase sensitive detections. So this optical fiber cables with the connectors, where the cutback method will attenuate the comparing to cutback method is a less accurate method, but it gives the total attenuation of the cable in decibels. So the for multimode fibers, the mode scrambler is used to ensure that the fiber core contains the equilibrium mode distribution. So the chopped light is then fed through the monochromator, which will utilize the prism or diffraction rating arrangement to select the required wavelength at the attenuation to be measured. So this light is filtered before the focused on the fiber, and it means by a microscope or objective lens. So next one is the beam splitter, which will be incorporated before the fiber to provide the light for viewing the optics, and a reference signal used to compensate for output power fluctuations. So the measurement is performed on the multimode fibers. It is very dependent on the optical launch conditions. So therefore, unless the launch optics are arranged to give the steady state mode distribution at the fiber input, or a dummy fiber is used, so then the mode scrambling device is attached to the fiber within the first meter. So this will attenuate the sum of the loss of the cabled fiber and the connector between the launch connector and the cable. So the fiber is also usually put through the cladding mode striper, and which may consist of a shaped groove cut in the Teflon, and it will be filled with the glycerin. So this device will remove the light which will be launched in the fiber cladding through the radiation into the index match glycerin. So a mode of striper can also be included at the fiber output end to remove the any optical power, and it will be scattered from the core into the cladding down the fiber length. So it will be tends to pronounce the fiber cladding consists of low refractive index silicon resin. So this will give the P1 of lambda as is recorded out the output. Thank you.